Hello and welcome to this new video under Earth Geometry. Now in this video I'm going to teach you how to allocate towns or points on the Earth's surface. So what we have here is a diagram that we've been given as an Earth's surface, and now on this Earth's surface we have been given 4 towns, or rather say 4 points. So we have point A, we have point B, we have point C, and we have point D. Now the task is to allocate these points. Okay, so the latitudes and the longitudes, this is one of the major roles they play, is giving us locations of places. Now when you look at this Earth surface, each latitude and each longitude in this diagram has been named already. So you can see that, for example, this latitude is 40 degrees north, and this longitude here is 65 degrees east, and we have another longitude here which is 54 degrees west. Then we have this latitude here which is 32 degrees south. Okay, now I want to give you a quick basic on how you easily locate a town or a point on the Earth's surface when you've been asked to. So the first thing you have to do is identify the point that you are locating. So in this case, if we are locating point A, what we'll do is you get your point, you write point A, you open bracket, then you start by reading or naming the latitude, comma, okay, then you get the longitude. Okay, what this means is that when you are locating point A, you begin by naming latitude, the latitude, then you go and naming the longitude. Okay, so it's not just by getting any latitude or longitude that you wish to get. It's by getting where point A is lying on which latitude and point A is lying on which longitude. Those are the focus points you have to look at. Okay, in that said, let's get back to our diagram here. The first thing you have to do is quickly identify the latitudes and the longitudes that you've been given. Don't forget they have already been named. Okay, so if I was to go on and identify town what? Let's start with town A, of course, right? Okay, so let's get town A. So say town A, then I'll go to my diagram. So town A is exactly at this point. Okay, so remember the format I showed you earlier on. The format is we start by identifying where point A or town A is lying in terms of latitudes. So it's lying exactly on latitude 40 degrees north. So I'm going to go on my solutions and write that point A or town A is exactly at 45, it's 40 degrees north. Then I'll say comma. Then I'll go and get in the respect of longitudes. So I'll look at where point A or town A is lying in terms of longitude. Now in this case, we are all seeing that point A is lying on longitude 54 degrees west. So I'm going to come in my solutions and write 54 degree west, and that is the end. As simple as that. You have allocated town A or point A. So I'll go to point B. And then I'm going to do the same. So okay, let's go and find point B on our diagram. Point B is lying at the same latitude where point A is lying, so no big difference. That means that it's also lying at 40 degrees north in terms of latitudes. Then in terms of longitudes, I can see that point B is lying on a different longitude. Okay, now I'll identify the name of that longitude. It's exactly 65 degrees east. It has been named as 65 degrees east. So I go on my my solutions, and I'm going to write 65 degrees east, and like that I have allocated town B. What I want you to do right now is pause this video and try to identify town C and town D. Okay, I want you to identify town C and town D. Allocate town C and town D. Okay, so pause the video and do that. Okay, I hope you have done that and you have come up with a solution. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come up with a solution as well. Then you compare with your solution and see if you are in the right path. Okay, so let's go on our diagram. Identify point C. Point C is right here. Now, remember the format is you start with the latitudes, then you go to the longitudes. So in this case, C is lying on this latitude here, which is exactly 32 degrees south. So I'm going to write that 32 degrees south. Then I'll say comma. Then the second thing is identify where point C or town C is lying in respect of longitudes. You can see that point C and point A are lying on the same longitude. They are sharing the same longitude. Now, if you go to A, you'll see that the longitude is 54 degrees west. This is 54 degrees west. So meaning that even here, we're going to have 54 degrees west. And that's how you get town C or allocate town C. Let's quickly do town D. Town D is right here, and you can see that point C and point D are lying on the same latitude. That means the latitude won't change here as well. It will be 32 degrees south. Then I'll say comma. Then I identify where point D is lying in the respect of longitudes. Okay, so longitude is D is lying on longitude 65 degrees. You can also see that point B and point D are sharing the same longitude. So meaning that if you go to point B, the longitude it's lying on is 65 degrees east. So that means that even D is also lying on 65 degrees east. And you can see even in the diagram that the longitude where B and D are lying is 65 degrees east. So look at the solutions I have here, okay, for town C and town D, or point C and point D, and compare them with your solutions and see if you're correct. Okay, if you have any challenges and any, please just leave them in your comments section. And if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Thank you for watching. See you next time.